Imagine a storm so powerful that it obliterates entire towns, claims the lives of nearly 700 individuals, and leaves thousands injured. This was the reality on March the 18th, 1925, when the Great Tri-State Tornado carved a path of unprecedented destruction across Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. Today, we delve into the story of the deadliest tornado in U.S. history, exploring its formation and the devastation it wrought and its enduring legacy.
Welcome to Wiki Review Weekly History, where each week we cover a story based on a historical event that happened this week in history based on the facts that are provided to us by Wikipedia. I'm your host, Kaylee, and at the end of this video, we'll spin a roulette wheel that will actually determine what type of event we are going to be covering next week in history, so stick around. And if you like this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's go.
March the 18th, 1925 began like any other day in the central of the United States. However, atmospheric conditions were aligning to produce a catastrophic weather event. A low pressure system moving eastward collided with warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico, creating an environment ripe for severe thunderstorms. Around 12:40 p.m. Central Standard Time, a small condensation funnel was observed in Shannon County, Missouri. This initial sighting marked the birth of what would become the Great Tri-State Tornado. Now, the tornado's journey began in southeastern Missouri. After its initial formation in Shannon County, it moved northeast into Reynolds County. The first fatality occurred near Ellington at approximately 1:01 p.m. Central Standard Time, when a farmer was caught off guard by the rapidly approaching storm. The tornado then intensified as it approached the mining town of Annapolis in Iron County. Within minutes, 90% of Annapolis was destroyed and 2 residents lost their lives. The nearby village of Leadiana also suffered significant damage. Leadiana, that is a hard word for me to say. As you know, I'm not really that great at pronouncing words sometimes, and that's actually pretty rather difficult. Well, after it struck Leadiana, it continued its northeast trajectory, and the tornado entered Madison County, growing in size and strength. Near Cherokee Pass, it caused extensive damage to rural areas. In Bullinger County, the storm struck 2 schools, injuring 32 children who were seeking shelter. Homes and farms near Licksville were obliterated, resulting in the deaths of a farmer and 3 children. Deep ground scouring near Sedgwickville indicated that the tornado's immense power and debris were found all the way up to 50 miles away. And that's absolutely crazy. So, in Illinois, it crossed the Mississippi River. And that means it ends up from Missouri into Illinois. The tornado entered Illinois, where it would cause the most significant loss of life and property. At approximately 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, it struck the town of Gorham in Jackson County. The destruction was nearly total. 60 of the town's 80 homes were demolished, all commercial buildings were flattened, and the school suffered severe damage. Railroad tracks were reportedly ripped from the ground, and over half of Gorham's population were killed or injured. Now next, the tornado devastated Murfreesboro, a bustling coal and railroad town with a population of around 10,000 people. The storm cut a swath nearly a mile wide through the city, leveling entire neighborhoods. The M&O Railroad Shop, it was a railroad shop. I wonder what a railroad shop is. I'm assuming it's kind of an employee town. This was 1925. But if anyone knows what a railroad shop would be, let me know in the comments section. Well, anyway, the M&O Railroad Shop was destroyed, and that resulted in 35 fatalities alone. And that was mainly due to subsequent fires that were connected to the tornado after the tornado destruction happened. Schools were particularly hard hit. Wow. Again, sometimes like my dyslexia really does show through there, doesn't schools were particularly hard hit, and 17 students perished at Longfellow School and 9 at Logan's School. Fires also ignited there. It ignited in the aftermath, and it consumed what little remained, and this really complicated the rescue efforts. In total, 234 people lost their lives in Murfreesboro, marking the highest tornado-related death toll in a single U.S. city. That's insane. That's tragic and absolutely insane. Next in its path was the town of DeSoto, where it was similarly ravaged. The tornado obliterated much of the town, killing 56 residents. Tragically, 33 of these fatalities were children at the DeSoto school, marking the deadliest tornado-related school incident in U.S. history. Gosh, it's really broke records. Like, it broke records in 1925, but in general, it appears, according to Wikipedia, that these records are still held to this day. This is one insane tornado. Well, anyway, regarding this, Deputy Sheriff at the time, George Boland, was actually among the victims. He was lifted into the funnel while on patrol, and they never recovered his body. Oh, that's horrific. Continuing its path of destruction, the tornado narrowly missed the towns of Royalton and Ziegler, but devastated rural areas in Franklin County. It then struck West Frankfort, and particularly the northwest side, which housed densely populated neighborhoods and mining operations. The Peabody Mine, number 18 in Caldwell, experienced severe damage, including the destruction of an 80-foot coal tipple. In West Frankfort, 102 individuals were killed and 410 were injured. The small town of Parrish was completely destroyed, and that alone resulted in 33 fatalities. The destruction was so absolute that the parish was never rebuilt. The tornado continued through Hamilton and White counties, causing additional deaths and injuries before crossing into Indiana. Now, part of the reason why I wanted to do the tri-state tornado whenever I saw that this was going to be a disaster week, and I happened to be very familiar with this tornado, is because I am from Eberfeld, Indiana. That's where my family raised me, and it's very close to where this tornado comes to an end near Princeton. And I've lived through several close encounters with tornadoes in my life, but this was always the one that I had heard about as being like the big, scary, all-time tornado. And just knowing that it was close by always made me very interested in this particular story. So now we're getting into the final leg of the story where it enters Indiana, where we're now in my old stomping grounds. I'm very familiar with these places. Anyway, let's continue onward. Upon entering Indiana, the tornado first impacted the town of Griffin in Posey County. Griffin was utterly demolished. Not a single structure remained untouched. 46 residents lost their lives and over 200 were injured. The tornado then moved northeast, clipping the northwest corner of Owensville and causing 9 fatalities. Princeton, a larger industrial town, was the next to face the tornado's wrath. The southern part of the town was heavily damaged, with large sections of the neighborhoods leveled and significant damage to the Heinz factory. 38 people were killed and 152 were injured in Princeton. The tornado finally dissipated near Oatesville in Pike County around 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time after traveling a staggering 219 miles over approximately 3.5 hours. And for anyone's sake who is on the kilometer system, 219 miles is approximately 352,446 kilometers. So yeah, it went a really, really long way. Now, the Great Tri-State Tornado, it left an incredible mark on the central United States. In total, 695 people were confirmed dead. 12 in Missouri, 588 in Illinois, and 95 in Indiana. Over 2,000 individuals were injured and approximately 15,000 homes were destroyed. The financial cost was estimated at $16.5 million US dollars in 1925 dollars, which is the equivalent of 2.9 billion US dollars today, making it the third costliest tornado in US history. The disaster overwhelmed local hospitals, prompting the transportation of the injured to facilities as far away as St. Louis and Evansville. And I gotta tell you, Evansville, I mean, it's kind of close to Princeton, but in 1925, that would not be very close to Princeton at all. In 1925, I mean, half the people are still using horses, right? That's gotta be excruciating. Fires exacerbated destruction in many towns, and reports of looting added to the chaos. Recovery was slow, with some communities like Parrish never even being rebuilt. The tornado's unprecedented path, length, and the duration have been subjects of extensive study and debate. Some meteorologists actually question whether a single tornado could maintain such an intensity over 219 miles, suggesting the possibility of a series of tornadoes that respond by the same storm system. That actually makes a lot of sense to me because, 3 hours, that's an abnormally long time to be on the ground. Even long track tornadoes nowadays, they're usually on the ground for 45 minutes or so. In fact, this year, around, I think it was March 15th, 2025, there was a long track tornado and it ended up dissipating, I think somewhere just outside of Oakland City, Indiana. But it actually did some really bad damage to across the street from my parents' property. I will throw some pictures up on the screens where the light poles were literally snapped in half and there's a road sign that was just completely bent. But what's wild is my parents took those pictures, but they weren't really in the middle of the tornado itself. The tornado was somewhere about 6 miles away from them. But it just goes to show what type of damage, and you don't have to be right in the middle of the tornado to get that intense level of damage. But yeah, that's absolutely insane. But regardless of if this was one big tornado or if this was a series of tornadoes, the tri-state tornado remains a benchmark for tornado research and has significantly influenced our understanding of these powerful natural phenomena. Now, the Great Tri-State Tornado of 1925 stands as a somber reminder of nature's capacity for destruction. Its legacy lives on, not only in the memories of those who experienced it, but also in the advances in meteorology and emergency responses that have since been developed. By studying and remembering these events, we hope to mitigate the impact of future natural disasters. Well, if you found this exploration into the 1925 Tri-State Tornado informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more historical deep dives. Now, as mentioned, all of the information was taken from Wikipedia, and while Wikipedia is an excellent resource to acquiring general information on a topic or finding sources by reviewing the citations, remember Wikipedia is edited by the masses and can sometimes be incorrect. That's why I'd like to enlist your help. If you heard something in this video that you suspect was incorrect, that means that it's incorrect on Wikipedia, and we need to find the section of the Wikipedia article to edit it and correct the narrative. Because if we work together, we can improve our favorite open source encyclopedia. Well, anyway, let us know in the comments your thoughts on this tragic event, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Did you enjoy what you saw? Well, then like and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to hit a goal of 1,000 subscribers, and we could really use your help. If you would like to support us, you can also follow us on Patreon. And if you would like to support me, my name's Kaylee Spivey. I'm a visual and performing artist, and I sell my work with original art and actually with some prints on my online store on Shopify. I will have the links and descriptions to those all in the show notes, which are in the comment section or the description of this video. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's go ahead and spin the roulette wheel and see what type of topic we're going to cover next week on Wiki Review Weekly History. All right, let's spin the wheel. Let's see what next week's topic is going to be. And next week's topic is ooh, we have not done crime yet, so stick around because next week we are going to be covering some sort of crime topic that happened last week in history. Bye! Thank you for tuning in this week to Wiki Review Weekly History. Next week we'll have a whole new topic for you. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe to our video and check out my Patreon store as well as my Shopify store for some original artwork. We'll see you next week. Bye!